After that is Campaign 2. Now this follows more Jaden's character than anyone else. This follows the story of Margaret, the pork, as well as Shaken Bacon, who was Wolf's character this time, who was an ancient teacher who was really good at dancing. Don't ask. There was my character, who was Sophie Rajak. She is a little dwarf girl with a beard, which was pretty fun. She was like an ice mage. And then there was Zuper's character, who was a snooty, noble peasant. Again, don't ask. The cards are bullshit. This is the first campaign in which we started to use shields, so that was something that happened. But the main brunt of the campaign was that we were attending this magic college that was overall not very safe in the slightest. Constantly tried to kill us through various means. Is very clearly not a very approved college, not like an FDA, not a... the Food and Drug Administration is definitely in charge of the safety of students through the use of their... getting the shit pushed out of them with spell casting. Like, it was quite the weird campaign. It all culminates at the very end with Jaden's character, Margaret, having a twist where he is an ageless. And as an ageless pork, he is essentially trying to group the rest of us into becoming ageless as well. Now, at first, we're like, oh shit, well, no, we don't want to be ageless. But then, the reality that the ageless are overpowered and have a very limited number of weaknesses, other than the fact that if your skull breaks, you die. But then you think about it, and you're like, well, wait a minute. So, if you're a human, if you're alive, and your skull breaks, you still die. So, in reality, ageless are just overpowered. I thought that you had to permanently turn into a skeleton, so I was a little bit skeptical, but then Zuber was like, oh, no, you can actually just keep your skin. So we all become ageless. There's an elf and Skelfelk, and we all basically give ourselves up to becoming ageless. I'm perfectly okay with the transformation RP-wise, because it would give me time to hunt down my assassin, essentially forever. Like, she's an elf, so she already has an extended lifespan. So as an ageless, she just has all the time in the universe to hunt this bastard down. Everyone else was all for it because, again, ageless are overpowered. And that's all you really need to know. Well, of course, there's also the part at the very end where Jaden turns into Volungra, the dragon, and we sort of bullshitted that end there because we were just at a rush for time. We mentioned this, but we were just like, nah, you know what? This campaign is going for forever. We spent 3 hours trying to get Zuber to Gemlick. We're done here. So we basically nuke the whole school with a giant-ass Volungra that Margaret turns into. Eventually, Margaret stops being Volungra, which is good, because if there were two Volungras, literal Volungras, just flying around, I really hope I'm getting the name right, if there were two of them just flying around, that would kind of be a problem, because I think the one Volungra is just naturally flying around causing a ruckus. If there were two, that would be a serious problem. So that happened. Pretty much everyone was turned ageless. And yeah. Oh, there's something I actually forgot to mention. In the first campaign, Leonard's character had Fappy the Trapinch as a drawing, and this was how Eleanor was first able to tell that he was Creation Mage, because he essentially brought Stanley's pet Trapinch to life through creation magic. So that was Fappy there. That Fappy died. Then there's another Fappy that was owned by, or another Trapinch, I should, that was owned by the headmaster of the College of Magic. And what happens there is that the headmaster smashes in the Trapinch's skull so he doesn't become ageless. So again, the Trapinch succession line is having a real rough time getting its feet off the ground. But that is a story for another day. Don't worry, the original Fappy the Trapinch had sex with a prostitute, so his seed is still being carried throughout the world of U-Realms. I wish I was joking, but no, that actually happened. He rolled pretty high, so what can you say, really?